Rufus from the lovely Chaka Khan, and a clip there from the American television program Midnight Special, and that was We Can Work It Out. And our visitor to the program tonight is also currently touring the country, and when I tell you that among the hit records he's had here are Peter Gunn, Because They're Young, Dance with the Guitar Man and Rebel Rouser, you'll know for sure that I'm talking of Duane Eddy.
You can't hardly miss it.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So many of the early records, Duane, were made with the help of Lee Hazelwood. Yes. How did that collaboration first start?
Well, it first started when I was in high school, and he was a disc jockey on a local station in a small town in Arizona. And he needed some live music for his radio show. So some mutual friends introduced us, and we became good friends. And a couple of years later, he became a record producer and asked me if I'd like to make an instrumental. So, of course, I said yes, I would. And he said, okay, sit down, work out the sound, try to come up with something original. And I did. We went in the studio and cut Movin' and Groovin', which was the first record, which went halfway up the charts in America, but encouraged the record company to ask us to do some more. So we went back in and did Rebel Rouser, which was the first big hit.
When did you actually develop the guitar style then?
Well, I was playing clubs and dances and nightclubs and things. Locally around Phoenix, Arizona. And I suppose it came from that time in my life, the country music influence and all that.
Was the first record a local hit, and then did it sort of rebound out?
It was a national hit, but not a very big one. Not tremendously large.
Because you did an incredible amount of touring around the late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, well, of course, Rebel Rouser was right on the heels of the first one. That was a big hit. And then Ramrod and Cannonball, The Lonely One, etc. And they all happened in 1958, 59. And, right on through to 1964, 63.
Is there a particular tour you can pull out?
Well, the first tour I did of Great Britain was with Bobby Darin and Clyde McPhatter and Emil Ford, and that was a great tour. That was really fantastic, and I enjoyed that very much.
How much time did you spend in putting each record together?
Sometimes we'd work on a record all day long. And we took our time. Some of them we wrote in the studio at the session.
Because it's true to say, really, that on the albums that you did in the early days, the albums really showed you with a kind of different style from time to time from the things that we heard generally on the singles. I mean, did you look for something different specifically then?
No, I just, in albums, I had more freedom to do different things that I wanted to do. I could do some blues or do a Les Paul type of record, or which was a lot of fun doing the multiple recording and speeding it up and getting a Les Paul sound. We sort of just enjoyed ourselves and did things in the albums that were fun. Did a Chet Atkins thing called Trombone, and did some albums with a big orchestra, and you know, just whatever appealed to us.
Because we seem to be at the moment in an interesting situation. There's your new record now, which you've just done. Neil Sedaka is back in the charts. Paul Anka's back in the charts. Johnny Mathis is back in the charts. And we seem to have reverted now to a situation that we're in kind of just before the Beatles. I mean, do you agree with that?
Well, obviously I agree with it. Hopefully I'll be back in the charts too very soon. And no, I'm very pleased about it. I don't know. I don't have any fancy explanations for it or anything. It's just that I guess all of us are still around, and people have been buying our old records due to the rock and roll revival, quote. And so there's been some demand for us, and I guess they've decided to record us again. And well, Tony McCauley here in England decided to make my new record, and I think he's very talented and extremely creative. I could talk for the next half hour just about him.
Yeah, sadly,
How fantastic he is in the
that's where we've got
studio.
to stop.
Great writer.
To end, the very best of luck with the single, and thanks for coming
Thank you.
in to see
Can I
us.
have time to ask one question?
Do, yes.
I want to know where the title of the Old Grey Whistle Test came from. You don't know either.
Yeah, no, I do.
Oh.
No, I was checking that we got time.
Checked. Actually, I've checked a lot of people. I've asked a lot of people. Not too many people know. You ought to have a contest or something to.
Well, it goes back to the days of Tin
Before you
Pan
tell
Alley.
them, you might have a contest, you know, and have them write in and see if the closest one to it, have them come see the show and meet you and all that sort of thing.
Well, I can give you an explanation if you want it.
All right.
Yeah, because it goes back to the days of Tin Pan Alley, like when we had the hit music factories, when guys literally used to sit in an office from 9 to 5 and write out hit records, right? And having written something or 2 or 3 things, they used to take it down to the cleaners, the people who worked in the offices, who they used to call the old greys. Right?
Right.
Now, if they played them the tune and they could whistle it or hum it, having just heard it once, then they reckoned that that was going to be a hit record, and it passed the Old Grey Whistle Test.
I see.
And that's how it came about.
See, well, there goes your contest, of course.
Do anything. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
And some music now to bring you the atmosphere of Jamaica, and a really nice piece of film of Bob Marley and the Wailers, with one of the numbers from their new album, Natty Dread.